The ridges on a coin were put there to catch thieves. Pick up a coin and run a thumbnail around the edge. On most of them, you will feel fine ridges. They are there because of a crime that almost broke England. When coins were silver and cut by hand, no two were the same size, and the edges were rough, so people clipped them. A sliver off the rim of every coin that passed through your hands, kept in a jar, melted down at the end of the month, each coin still spent. By the 1690s, the silver money of the country was so thin and light that shopkeepers weighed it instead of counting it and refused it. The answer was mechanical. Coins struck by machine came out perfectly round, and a second machine cut grooves into the edge. A clipped coin now announced itself. The grooves were gone. In 1696, the whole silver coinage was called in and struck again, and the man given the job of running it was Isaac Newton, who left Cambridge for the mint and did not go back. He spent years on it, and a good part of that time in taverns and prisons, gathering evidence against forgers himself. The ridges outlived the reason for them. There is no silver in your change, and nothing to clip. They stayed because machines and fingers both find them useful. A blind hand can tell one coin from another by the edge alone. The army never carried the Swiss Army knife. In 1891, the Swiss Army bought a folding knife for its soldiers. A blade, a screwdriver, a reamer, and a tin opener in a dark wooden handle. Practical, heavy, and made in Germany, because no Swiss workshop could produce them at that price. A cutler named Karl Elsener took that personally. He organized the Swiss knife makers into an association and won the contract back at a loss he carried for years. Then, in 1897, he patented a different knife, lighter, with a second smaller blade, a corkscrew, and springs on both sides of the handle so that tools could be fitted, facing both ways. He called it the officer's knife. The army never adopted it. It was never issued to anybody. It was sold in shops to civilians. And it is the knife the whole world now pictures. The name people use came later still, from American soldiers stationed in Europe after the Second War, who bought them in canteens and could not pronounce the German word for officer's knife. Elsener named the company after his mother, Victoria, and added the word for stainless steel when it arrived, Victorinox. The red handle and the white cross were chosen so that a dropped knife could be found in snow or in a dark pack. Sunglasses were first worn to hide the eyes. Dark glasses are older than sun protection, and the first use we have any record of has nothing to do with brightness. In Chinese courts, judges are described as wearing flat panels of smoked quartz over their eyes, not to see better, so that nobody in the room could read their reaction to a witness. The accounts of this are old and thin, and they are repeated far more confidently than the evidence supports, so treated as reported rather than settled. For centuries after that, tinted lenses were medical. Blue and green glass was prescribed for particular complaints of the eye, and nobody wore them outdoors for comfort. The ordinary sunglasses in your pocket start in 1929, on a boardwalk in New Jersey, where a man named Sam Foster sold cheap molded frames with tinted lenses to people on the beach who simply wanted to sit in the sun without squinting. They sold as fast as he could put them out. Everything after that is refinement. A polarizing filter that cuts the glare coming off water and roads was made practical in 1936. Pilots got a large teardrop lens the year after to cut the light at altitude. The judges had the right idea, though. A great deal of what sunglasses do now is still about not being read.